What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Dead Polymers, doing well. Thank you, Nick Pereira. I think I said that right. For joining us tonight on this 30th episode of The Drill Room. As always, I am your host, the slightly bearded beast. Kind of bearded beast. I'm going through a phase. We're all going through changes right now. And that is the big title of the show tonight. It's not going to be a long one, but we got tons of stuff to cover. If it's the first time joining us here on the show, this is the Drill Room, where we talk about all things Laneside Reviews, all things bowling, give you coaching, and just generally give you a hand with whatever you want to talk about when it comes to bowling. As you can tell, we got a little bit of a new setup. We got a nice new camera, and you guys can actually hear me for once on the microphone, though it might only be through one side. We're still working on the stereo part of this. But this show was too important not to get running on it. So once again, thank you very much for joining us here on the Drill Room, and let's get into what we're going to cover tonight, because there's a ton of stuff. We're going to give updates on the bowlers here. How everyone's doing, how life has been treating us lately. We're going to talk about some changes to the show. We've been around 30 years. We're going to kind of look back a little bit at the last 30 years. Kind of look at things that we changed over the years. Because we feel like we've had a pretty big impact on the industry when it comes to reviews over the years. When you're here for 30 years, you got to be doing something right. We're also going to talk about some neat new promotions and a neat new contract that we've signed, and it's going to be a benefit to you guys. And we're going to answer some of your questions that you sent in. I put out some feelers asking for what you want to talk about, what you wanted in reviews, and we're going to talk about some stuff. But before we get started, I see we got a question out there. And it's something that I saw just before I came on the show here. And it's Jasmine Mason just put up a video throwing the Zero Mercy. She was previously on Storm staff. About 3 hours ago, she announced to the world that she is a free agent for 2026. And she's already received equipment from the Brands of Brunswick as well as Motive, and she is trying out everybody's equipment. And that's, for her, I think that's a smart idea. She has had success before, but if she's trying to take her game to the next level, you never know what you don't know. So if she felt like that maybe Storm Rotogrip wasn't giving her the best chance to win with the equipment, or they felt like the Brands of Brunswick had something to offer coaching-wise or ball rep-wise to help her get to the next level, it would really behoove her to do that, right? Like, seriously, the name of the game is to win, not just to be there. So I think it's great for her. I think that she is a very unique game on the PWBA, and I think if she can get into the right equipment with the just people to kind of keep her lined up, she could be super duper dangerous. Because there are very few people on the tour who can throw pins around like she can. Old school Michelle Feldman, Deanna. I can't think of a lot of people. Her whole team on Wednesday night threw Big B except for her. Yeah, no, that makes sense. They probably talked to her a lot, and with the changes to the tour this year, what you can throw and can't throw, and who's bowling where, contracts are limited. So if she sees more money to be made throwing everything, why not? Right? Why not? And if her teammates have convinced her, yes, Miss Jones is on Hammerstaff. But we're getting far away from things. We want to stay with the show here. We're going to answer questions as we go. The first thing we wanted to start off here with is some life updates. Obviously, I haven't done a podcast in a little while. I've been. Oh no, it's okay, Nick. It's totally okay. Um, I haven't been doing as many podcasts as I did previously. Obviously, it's been a while. It's probably been like 6 or 7 months since I did a podcast. Life throws things at you. For myself, I've always had health issues and stuff, and I went through some difficulties with my health. I had a fairly significant nerve injury and hip injury that happened this year that really derailed my progress bowling. I couldn't walk, like literally couldn't walk. It was a really freak accident, but it was painful. One of the most painful ones I've had, because I had it while I was traveling, and I had to travel for quite a while with that injury. Thankfully, knock on wood, 2026 has been somewhat better. I started the year by falling down a flight of stairs, and I thought I'd broke my shoulder, but no, I'm okay. And that, hopefully is going to carry on through the year. Now, other people, Scoops. Scoops, you'll notice, hasn't been throwing as many balls this year. The fact of the matter is, we've been doing this 30 years, and we've been very lucky to avoid major injuries, to avoid a lot of family stuff, to avoid closing bowling centers. We've had a lot of stuff that's gone on. And Nick has been a constant through everything. He has plodded on and paraded on and soldiered on through a lot of stuff. And this year, Nick needed some time. After 30 years, Nick needed some time to take care of himself, take care of his family, take care of his health. So Nick has taken a bit of a step back this year. Not that he's gone. I don't want anybody to worry that Nick is gone. I don't want anyone to worry that, we're going to radically change the show forever. We're going to do some changes, though. Life throws stuff at you, as I've said. But Scoops is healthy, and we're hoping to have him on more, get him happy and rolling and out there doing reviews where we all love him. Unfortunately, we have a different update for old guy Wayne Porter. As you guys know, this year has been very challenging for Wayne's health as well. He's had some hip issues. He's had some other injuries. He's had some sickness and stuff. Unfortunately, this Christmas, our old guy Wayne Porter had a stroke. I'm not going to get into details of things. That's not mine to share that way. I did talk to the Porter family and get permission before I said anything to anybody. And I wanted to make sure we had an update on Wayne before I really said anything to anybody, because I think it's important not to just leave people hanging. So thankfully, Wayne is okay. He had to go to a hospital away from our hometown where we all live for a while, but he has come back, and he is close to his family. And he is doing better than we expected, better than I expected. And we're hoping that he's going to be cleared, even though he is out of the woods and he is at a close medical facility, as the WWE would say. He's still got a lot of recovery in front of him. So we're really looking forward to the chance to going out and seeing Wayne. And if Wayne is watching this out there, I know that the guys at Brunswick have already sent their love. I know that we have already sent our love, my family. But I hope you understand out there, Wayne, that there's a lot of people out there who love you, a lot of people who feel like you throw like everybody, like the everyman. People relate to you very much. And there's a lot of people out there rooting for you. Nick already sent Nick Pereira already sent sorry to hear that. He's got his praying hands on for you. And we're all here for you. We all care a lot for you, and we all are really looking forward to having you back out throwing equipment, and for us to be able to make fun of you like we have in the past, because that's, that means we're having a good time. That means that we're back to normal. Um, Now, having said that, oh, that's awesome! Wearing the many moods of Wayne. That's amazing. Um, I'm gonna get back to that shirt in a second because that's gonna be important too. Now, with these changes in our lives, I mean, I made that big change over to two-handed a couple of years ago because of injury. But for the most part, we've done things the same way for the last 30 years. If you look back before we opened our YouTube channel, I'm going to give you guys actually a walk back through history. When I turned 18 years old, in fact, on my 18th birthday, I happened to see a thing in a magazine, a little article about Brunswick looking for seed testers. Now, 30 years ago, there wasn't all these staff programs and affiliate programs and all this stuff. You either bowled for a brand or you didn't. And this seed program allowed people to get their hands on equipment and show it off. Excuse me here, I'm just going to move my mic again. Try it out and show it off in public so other people could see it. It was the forerunner of reviews. Now, I messaged that ad by this really weird new fangled thing called email from my amazing Hotmail account because it had just opened up. Like, that's how long ago this was. Hotmail was still new. My Hotmail account number has no numbers in it. Yeah, like that's old. And I had a couple of weeks later, after this email, because I didn't really think anything would happen from it. I'm in Canada. Like, nothing happens in Canada. Lo and behold, I get an email back from Billy Orlikowski, the original Billy O. I had met Billy when I was 15 or 16 when he had put on a skills competition in Richmond Hill at a brand new opening bowling center. And we had kind of hit it off there. I got some autographs from him. And when I messaged him and he'd seen that, he said, you know what? Let's give this a try. So he sent me 2 balls. The very first 2 balls I got were the Ruby Red Phase and the Phase Eliminator, the blue particle one. And I went to town on that. I went out to different bowling centers and just bowled so people could see them before they came out. I wrote articles and sent them into every bowling thing that I could find until one finally published them. I just started reviewing stuff. And then a few years later, we started seeing this weird thing called YouTube. You know, we saw a lot more videos coming up. And we saw companies putting up, you know, these advertisements for bowling balls, but they were pretty lame. Like, they were a pro, which, I mean, at the time, we were just happy to see people throwing bowling balls, but they were a pro playing a line that no house bowler would ever be able to play on usually a sport pattern. And they'd be like, oh, look at this ball, and it would be cool to look at, it would be flashy, but there wasn't really any information. Now, at that time, it just so happened that Nick, who I grew up from the very time when I started bowling, and Wayne, we all had the same span. Our paps were within about a 1/4 inch vertically and horizontally, even though we had different tilts and different releases. Our spans were really, really close. So I proposed to Brunswick that, you know, we try doing this crazy thing where I get a few more balls and we review everything, but we do it with 3 reviewers, 3 different styles. At the time, we were just going, you know, 3 people because nobody had regular bowlers out there, and nobody had different styles of bowlers like Wayne and Nick and myself, never in the same video, so somebody could go just to one place. And when we started putting our first videos out, we were getting, you know, 10, 15,000 views at a time when there was no anybody else doing stuff. There was the only reviewers out there really were Brunsnick, us, uh, bowlingball.com or bowl.com. I can't remember, or I think it was bowling.com. One of those ones. There weren't a lot of real review places out there. When we started having multiple bowlers, we saw other companies follow suit. We saw literally companies, the large companies, start putting in extra bowlers. We started seeing companies start copying some of the things we did, so we needed to evolve again. And we started doing stuff like we were one of the, and you know what, maybe this is done in Kruger because I haven't seen any evidence to say otherwise, but we were one of the first review shows. First, we presented it like a show, like a television show, but we were one of the first shows to cut out all the music. It used to just be blaring hard rock and stuff over the bowling. You just hit mute and let it play. We started putting in more information. We started talking over the bowling. And as soon as we started doing that, we started seeing other companies doing it, to the point where I will say that there was a company that is part of the Brands of Brunswick now, that once I contacted them and said, hey, can we do some videos for you? And they said, no, we love what you do. We love it so much. We're going to do it ourselves. We're just going to copy exactly what you did, so we don't need you. Which kind of hurt my feelings at one point, but I took it as a point of pride that we were doing something so good that the companies were taking notice and kind of stealing what we were doing. Over the years, we added extra cameras. Views that you never got to see because we knew, if you go back and look at our videos, we were showing you how the ball goes through the pins back in the 2010s when nobody was talking about deflection. Nobody was talking about where the ball exited the deck. And we were like, hey, look, you got to see where this is. We've tried to stay on the forefront of things for years. But after 30 years, I'm going to be honest. After 30 years, you get tired. Phil invented stealing from Blindside Reviews. It wasn't Phil. I'll tell you that right now. It wasn't Phil. But I have, since the very beginning, I have done all the writing. I've done all the filming. I've done all the editing, audio, voiceover. I have been a one-man crew. I've done everything. When a new technology came out that I had to figure out, where there would be OBS for streaming, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, I've had to go out there and I've had to learn things by myself. When new programs have come out that, I've had to go and do schooling for, or, go out and find other people who are doing this stuff and learn from them. It's been a full-time job for me for years. Kind of full-time, because people don't realize that I've been disabled since 2023. I've been off work since 2013, because of my disabilities. Actually, I was talking to one gentleman yesterday, and he was like, I would have never realized that you had any issues. That's how chronic illness works. Chronic pain illnesses, at least. Some of us, we don't show things, and people won't see us when we're hurt because we're not anywhere. But I digress. So over the years, we've adopted a lot of things. We added a lot of things. We've seen things that other people have done really well, and we've adopted them too. Recently, we added, our lane pattern to our... Yes, I do have a leg lamp in the background. That was my mom's. My mom is unfortunately in... special care. She has dementia, but that was something that I got, that was gotten for her for Christmas, that meant a lot to her, and it means a lot to me, so I keep it nearby, and it seems to have a magical purpose in the bowling world, that it just brings you better things. Leg lamps are universally good. Yeah, chronic pain is exhausting. One of the things I said to Mrs. Bearded Beast tonight, I've been out drilling bowling balls all day. When my shop in the mall closed because the mall closed, I moved all my stuff home. For you guys who don't know, I'm about an hour north of Toronto in Canada. It's minus 13 or minus 20 Celsius out right now, which I think is like minus 40 Fahrenheit. I don't know how that works for you guys. It's really freaking cold. It's colder here than it is in like Muskegon and stuff. But I was out drilling bowling balls in it today, and the cold has just sapped all my energy away. I could honestly just fall asleep right now. But this is more important. You guys are more important. Talking about the history of the show, when I started, I was a level 1 3M coach. It was before the USBC. Because I wanted to learn and share with the viewers, I have gone on a journey to become the equivalent of a gold level coach for Canada. And I'm still working on my gold level coach for USBC. I've always told the story, when I was young, there were no coaches in my area that knew the kind of stuff that I wanted to know. There were tons of amazing coaches out there that dedicated their time and had good intentions, but they were teaching the way they had been taught to bowl by somebody who wasn't a coach, who had been taught by somebody who wasn't a coach. And, you know, you get mistaught and so on and so forth. And not that they were trying to do anything bad, because they were doing their best. They just didn't know any better. So when I came up, I always promised that I would never let a kid go without coaching. So I got as much coaching, as much knowledge as I could, and I made myself as available as I could through the show, through my book, through Facebook and everything, to answer as much bowling-related information as I could. And it's really become a lifestyle, a full-time job, or whatever you call it. But with Scoops taking a step back, with Wayne having to take a step back for his health, things have to change. It's impossible to find three people with the same span like we had before. It was an anomaly, really much so. And I don't know if somebody could do it again with one ball to take care of all of their different bowlers. Over the years, we've had different levels of equipment that we've had, so we've been able to have multiple balls for multiple bowlers. But that's a big investment for companies as well. You see a lot of them changing their marketing budgets and such, so you don't get as much equipment. So what we've decided to do while we're waiting for Wayne to get better, and while Nick is taking a little step back, I'm going to kind of step up in the reviews a little bit more. Yes, I know I'm a two-hander, and not everybody likes two-handed bowlers. But I hope that you understand that our reviews, if you've listened to our reviews before all the way through, not just the section that is for you, the style of bowler that you are, we often spend a lot of time talking about bowling, coaching you, giving you ideas, giving you suggestions, layout, surfaces, how to do lane play. We answer a lot of those things, and I want to continue doing that. I want to be able to review the ball and give you my assessment, not just as a two-handed bowler, but as a national coach. Because people forget that I'm a Canadian national coach. I'm part of the national team. As I said, I'm working on my gold certification. I've done a fair amount of coaching. I've worked with a lot of different bowlers. I've worked a lot on myself because I'm my worst student. So I have a lot to share with people. And that's what I want to do, is I want to continue to share. So parts of the videos, like our 3-camera view, some of other things that you're used to, you're going to continue to see those. But we do have one new addition to maybe entertain you while we're waiting for Wayne to get back. And for Scoops. Don't want to forget Scoops. This is what I've politely deemed the Wheel of Pain. This is going to be something that is going to be used for different releases to switch things up a little bit. You can see we've got on there 225 game, obstacle course. These are from suggestions that you guys made on our videos and on our Facebook of things that you wanted to see. And this is going to get spun, and the reviews are going to go through some interesting things. So we're going to have things like our Hot Ones challenge over here. It's going to be a 5-shot challenge, and every time I miss a shot, or whoever's taking the Hot Ones challenge, let me make that a little bit more clear. Whoever's taking the challenge, every time they miss a strike, they're going to take a hotter bite of a hotter chicken wing. How about down here in the green section? Chop School. For those of you who aren't professional wrestling fans, one of the most painful moves that you can take in professional wrestling as a non-wrestler without putting yourself in severe harm's way is a chop. Knife edge or a regular chop. And for those of you who don't know, I spent a fair amount of time involved with professional wrestling, from being a wrestler to, well, if you guys haven't seen our interview with JD Drake, check it out at one of our first draw rooms. Well, that's another 5-shot challenge, and every time I miss a shot, or whoever misses a shot, they're going to chop school. They're going to take a chop, and then have to continue the challenge. So we've got some interesting things there. We've got a Battle the Beast, where if that gets I guess selected, we're going to have a battle where a special guest, a special regular person is going to come on the show, and they're going to battle the Beast. They're going to battle me, and we're going to put a brand new ball to, right to challenge. Now, you'll also see some here that say W of P. That's our Wheel of Pain. Now, our Wheel of Pain, anytime you fail one of these challenges, you guys are going to benefit, whether it be a special coupon code for a discount on merch or free merch, because I've heard from you all that you like free merch. I think everybody likes free merch. Well, every time I fail one of these challenges, something's going to happen. However, when it comes to the Wheel of Pain, those special challenges, well, let me read you some of these punishments. So we've got Jump in the Snow / Polar Bear Dip. So yours truly will be getting down to his budgie smuggler and jumping in the cold. We've got Hot Pants / Costume in League. Well, if I lose that one, then you the viewer will choose a costume for me or a humiliating outfit, and I will not only wear it to League, but we will do a League video of me in it. We also have Pie in the Face, Ice Bucket Challenge, the One Chip Challenge, Sour Pickle, Merch Madness, where we give away a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's a very special one here called Hot Sauce. Now, for those of you who know myself, know the bowling industry, you know Mikey Pinnell, Mikey Dread. What most of you may not know is Mikey has some of the hottest peppers that he grows. He is a pepper growing genius, and we're going to get, as one of his punishments, one of the hottest peppers that he has, and God help me if I fail that challenge. You're going to see Rob cry a lot, like uncontrollably. But just something different to keep you interested. Because let's be honest, we've done more than 600 videos. Videos can get dry, videos can get uninteresting. So just something to spice it up on top of some review as well. So you're not going to lose that review part. We're just going to add some more to it. Now, we talked about merch for a second. That brings us to something very important. For those of you who've watched our videos and seen some of the ads that have come up, you've seen our Spreadshirt merchandise store. And you've seen, some of the awesome products that we have, but you've also seen some of the ridiculous prices. In this day and age, it's been difficult to find a good distributor, find a good printer, and get stuff out to you guys in a timely fashion at a quality that I was happy with. Well, yesterday I had a phone call with Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com. For those of you who watch tournaments, you'll know all of his amazing tournaments that he's live streamed in the past, plus all of the media stuff that he's done for all of the different bowling companies out there, plus InsideBowling.com. Well, we have signed an agreement with InsideBowling.com, and we are going to be moving our entire merch store over to Mike's company. What this is going to mean for you, one, we're going to be able to do a lot more merch giveaways because it's a lot easier to get a hold of Mike and for us to pay for the free merch for you guys, which I think you'll like that. Second, he prints everything in-house. He's going to be working directly with us. So we're going to have, I think we have 10 new designs that are going to be going up over the next couple of months, as well as our classic designs are still going to be available for a little while. So if you want something like our Many Moods of Wayne shirt, that is going to be available so that you'll be able to get it in different shirts, hoodies, all sorts of different things. We're also going to be able to make chamois and other things like that available. And very soon we're going to be able to make bowling balls available to you as well. We're going to be able to sell direct to you. So if you see one of our videos, you'll be able to click on the link and go in and get that ball after you watch that video. So we're really excited about teaming up with Mike and the folks at Inside Bowling. I don't think there's a more respected company out there right now for different merchandise. You think they work with The House. They work with Perception versus Reality podcast. They work with Brunsnick. They work with, if you go on there and just look at their collaborators, they have a ton of different collaborators. So I am very, very excited about this idea. Oh, excuse me for 1 second. Ooh, that's that cold air out there. Got me a little bit of sniffles in the nose. Now, all this is leading to one thing. With Wayne being down right now, and with us moving over to InsideBowling.com, we've actually decided to try to launch our first shirt and help Wayne at the same time. So we actually have a brand new shirt that's going to be going live. It'll be one of the first new shirts that we put live on our store. And it's a play on I'm a Paul Heyman guy, if you're a wrestling fan. It's just a very simple shirt. It just says I'm a Wayne Porter guy, and it's going to have a little picture of Wayne on it. And 100% of the profit from that shirt is going to be going to help Wayne deal with any expenses that he has coming in through his recovery, plus any expenses that he has coming up post-recovery. Because we don't know how things are going to play out, what he is going to need to get back to his regular lifestyle. And Wayne has done so much for us over the years, not just doing reviews and stuff, but the whole Porter family has been. That's a weird noise. The whole Porter family has been there for my family for 30 plus years, 36 years. They've always been very close to us. They've always taken good care of us. And we just want to return the favor because that's what this community should be about. With all the negativity that does happen, all the tribalism that happens, I'm a Storm guy, I'm a Brunswick guy, I'm a Motive guy. We're just bowlers. Very few of us are or will ever be pros. And even some of us who have been pros, we're just people. And we need to find some love, whatever that looks like for you right now, because the world can be a scary place. And there's a lot of stuff that, health-wise, political-wise, bowling-wise, who knows, you might be struggling. And if there's something that we can do to make it easier, whether it be for like Wayne or for one of you guys, we want to be there to help. I guess that's the coach side of me coming out. If people have issues, I want to help them. So that shirt will be coming out very shortly. And one of the things that you will notice when our shirts come out is the prices are going to be significantly cheaper. Mike and the folks at InsideBowling.com, their product is incredible, and I have no idea how they get it so inexpensively. I'm assuming that he's got in the back of his car, he's got a white 10-gallon hat and a black mask and a whole bandolero of silver bullets, and he's just hi-ho silvering these shirts because I don't know how he can do it so cheaply. It's incredible. But yeah, those are going to be coming soon. So InsideBowling.com, keep an eye out on that. We're going to make a post about it when it comes live. All of our videos will have a link to that so you can see all of our new stuff. And like I said, with the wheel, if I fail a challenge, you guys benefit. So we're going to try to give out some stuff to you guys as a thank you for watching the show, for watching the reviews, and for supporting us for more than 30 years. That is a scary thing to say. I just want to point out that when we started this show 30 years ago, I had hair. Here, not here. I don't think I could grow hair here yet. And I could barely keep the hair that I had here. So, I mean, maybe I just pulled it straight through or something. So, I'm just going to look through the questions here for a second. People have been posting stuff. I don't see many who throw it like I do in conventional grip, no thumb, one-hander. Ooh, you're like a Jacob Buttriff. That is a underserved group of people. I actually have a gentleman I bowl in a league with who is a similar. He's a conventional grip. And myself, when I made my change to two-handed. I know it's different, one-handed no thumb to two-handed no thumb, but I used conventional grip as well. It was the most comfortable way for me to make the switch over to two-handed bowling. So for those of you who don't know, I have fibromyalgia, which is kind of the catch-all for chronic disease, or chronic pain diseases. So I go through a lot of things, like I have joint issues, joint inflammation, muscle spasms, pain where there shouldn't be any pain, or loss of feeling, numbness, dizziness, fatigue, stuff like that. I have changed my diet. I appreciate you asking about the keto paleo. I try to eat as gluten-free as possible. I also try to avoid potatoes and tomatoes because those cause inflammation, and that's a good thing to think about when you're bowling tournaments, just as a thing to think about. If you're eating tomatoes and potatoes with your event, it's going to cause inflammation, so you may tend to swell up in your hands, your joints and stuff like that, make it difficult for you. So try to avoid foods like that when you're competing, especially in between days. If you have a 2-day event, don't go and have like a big tomato pasta or something afterwards, because you're going to swell up like a balloon. Excited to see the new changes. Thank you very much. Free merch rules. Yes, it does, Scooby. I hear that Scooby's pretty good looking too. That's Mrs. the Beast, for those of you who don't know. Love the idea of videos other than reviews. Finally put your personality to more use. Looking forward to it. I have a personality? You know what? I heard that all through high school. He's got a great personality. So, yeah, I probably should put that to work. Thank you. Mikey Pinnell is the man. Absolutely. 100%. Looking forward to, you know what, everybody, if you purchase one of those shirts, you know what, everyone, I appreciate it. Wayne will appreciate it. I'll let you know as soon as they go up. Current average 218. You only bowl 3 games a week and you average 218. You are a fantastic bowler, my friend. That is some good bowling. Yeah, that is some good bowling. When I was averaging, 2 to 210, I was putting in 3 days a week. When I was going to the tour, I was in the center 4 days a week. Good for you, 218. That's incredible. What kind of injury, if you don't mind me asking, was the reason I went to two-handed? So I have a nerve injury that stems from my neck all the way down my arm. More history of the bearded beast. When I was very young, when I was still bowling, I did some professional wrestling, some in-ring professional wrestling. But before that, when I was just a little beast, I did Greco-Roman wrestling, like Olympic wrestling. And one day somebody came in for a tryout, and I shot a double leg to try to get them down, and he grabbed around my neck and went backwards and DDT'd me for real. And I ended up with a stinger and a broken neck. So they've told me for years that I'm going to have issues with it. I might have to have my neck fused. About 2 weeks before I went to the Pro Tour in 2013, I had an MRI on my shoulder, and they told me I needed to have a shoulder replacement because of damage from all that stuff. Plus, the socket was too small, and the nerves were in the wrong spot, and the shoulder was basically just destroying all the nerve endings in my arm, which caused some bicep issue. And some forearm issue, and eventually led to the fact that I can't really use my thumb the way I used to. I have almost no strength in my thumb. If you see me grab for something or hold on to something, especially for any length of time, I'll usually put it in my left hand because I have grip strength in my left hand, and I have strength in my fingers in my right hand, but I have no strength in my thumb. And then the nerve damage causes me to lose feeling sometimes in my fingers, and then the fibromyalgia makes it even worse. So, it is what it is. I've broken my back, I've broken my neck, I've broken my face. You don't get to be like this and not have had some serious serious impact done. Actually, I have thrown lefty. Left-handed, one-handed, I can average about 150. I'm not actually really good. Left-handed, two-handed, however, I'm about a 170 average. Let's see what else is going on in here. Maybe you need to wear funny costumes to league. Oh, yes. For those of you who don't know, we have a tickle trunk full of wigs. We used to have this place in town called Crazy Bins, where every day the price was a different, everything in there was the same price, but it was a different price. To be like $25, $10, $5. Well, I went in and bought probably 20 or 30 wigs for $1. So I have some fantastic wigs, and I will be more than happy to wear a wig in league. What finger pitches do you use for conventional grip? So for myself, what I used was 1/4 5/8, just like a regular conventional ball. And then I tiered the top of my fingertips. So I measured the actual width of my finger here, and then what the taper was to the top of my knuckle, so that I could keep it nice and tight. For my pitches forward and reverse, I actually had, I'm trying to think here, I had, I believe, more forward pitch into my ring finger. It's been a while since I've thought about this. More pitch into my ring finger forward, and more reverse into my middle finger, so that I could reduce my rev rate and increase my axis rotation a little bit, because I was kind of throwing the ball flat, which ended up causing me to kind of turn the ball too much. So you may not want to do that. If you are putting your hand fully in and using conventional, try using just a little bit of reverse in it and see how it feels. Yeah, I was using it to move it off of my track. As a one-hander and a two-hander, I was a very, very high track player. So, copy that on the pane, everywhere and random. I was struck by lightning when I was 44. Good heavens. That would be quite the experience. I don't even know what that would be. Tingly. Probably. I'm glad you're still here with us. That's not something that a lot of people talk about. Don't forget eggplant. Yep, eggplant and peppers I try to stay away from as well. I might have, let's see, what else do I have here? I'm not really sure because I don't have the stats. League videos. Okay. How many mirrors have you broken? All of them. Why do you think I started doing photography and videography and cinematography? Because it put me on the other side of the camera so that no one could see this face. I always tell people, once you've seen it, it scarred you. You'll remember it forever. Okay, so now that I've answered the questions in the chat there, a couple more things I want to cover because, like I said, I didn't want this to be too long. We had a question about doing a show about lane play for low-speed, high-rev players. Or, hey, nice to see you, Stephanie. So we are going to do a show. We're going to do some lane play shows and just talk about, what you should look at for arsenals, what you should look at when you're playing the lanes based on your style and based on pattern lengths. So, yes, we're going to get to that. I was also asked for layouts for low axis tilt players. Yeah, we can get that in there too. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Somebody asked in the comments if urethane was banned, and I just want to remind everyone that urethane is legal in all your leagues unless they come up with a rule for it in your personal league. It's available in most of your local tournaments. The only time it is not legal is in certain USBC tournaments and in apparently Malaysian play because they banned it over there. So it is, if you are in North America and all of Europe, you're pretty good unless you're on the PBA or bowling the USBC Masters or the Open Championship. You're good for urethane. And okay, I think I got through all of it. I wasn't sure how long that would take tonight. I wasn't sure how the show was going to go. It has been really tough kind of sitting on the issue with Wayne. I wasn't even sure if I was going to say anything, but I felt like you viewers, because you have been asking so much about Wayne, you deserve to know what was going on. You deserve to be able to let him know how important he was and that we'd like to see him get better soon. Now, for the future of podcasts, I'm not going to do them every week. The first 20 shows, I think we did 2 a week or 1 to 2 a week, and it was a little bit much. I'm going to be taking a step back from some of my other duties that I've been doing for the last few years, away from the show here. So I am going to be bringing the podcast back, probably going to be once every 2 weeks or once a month, so that we can get together and talk about all the cool news and all the cool happenings in bowling. As I said, we've got the new wheel and the new reviews coming. We're also going to be starting, or we're going to be continuing with our coaching series that we've done in the past, coaching with Coach Rob. We're going to get a little bit more in-depth into how to bowl two-handed. But don't worry, you one-handers. It is my bread and butter. So we're going to get some guests on, and we're going to do some coaching with some regular bowlers, and we're going to attack some regular problems that you've seen, that you may have experienced yourself, and try to help as much as we can, help you guys continue to grow as bowlers. Doing great. Doing great, Wayne. Thank you very much. I don't know why I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I always get excited when I say hi to somebody. Yeah, no, we're not going anywhere. We're using the same channel. We're going to be staying right here. We had tried to launch Laneside 2 a while back for just having our two-hander stuff there, but I got a ton of comments from people who just wanted the two-handed stuff with the one-handed stuff. They wanted all the stuff in one place, make it easy to find. So we're just going to keep with our one channel. We're just going to keep things in one spot. So that is everything. That is everything that I have this week. I thought it was important to update you guys about what's going on with the show, our lives, the inside bowling deal. It means we're going to have a ton of cool merchandise for you guys. Finally, you'll be able to get bowling balls from us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to doing it with you here. Oh, Wayne's got looking for a high diff symmetrical pearl in the Brunswick family. I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite one, that if you can find it, is the Tundra Blue Flame from Track. They are getting a little bit harder to find. From there is new stuff coming. So just kind of keep an eye out. There are some really good high diff or high RG stuff. Hold on. Where did it all go here? That's good for do. Oh, high diff. I thought you were asking for high RG. Never mind. High diff symmetricals. Let me take a quick look here. Because I know the Ricochet was really good from Columbia. That one was fantastic. And Radical has some really good ones as well. It's just a matter of it is symmetrical. Let me see here. I say do a lot. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, the Ricochet, the black sparkle Ricochet. It's got a diff around 054. That one was really responsive. That was a good pearl. That was actually a pretty fantastic pearl. In a symmetrical. I'm trying to think here. The Hammerhead pearl is a high def, medium high diff one, but it's a little bit more controlled than the Ricochet will be. It's going to be more like a phase 2 pearl. So length, it's going to have some angularity, but it's not going to be like hammering left on you or hammering laterally on you. And let me check here. For now, I'm gonna recommend those two. I think those are probably the two that I would go to first if you're looking for one. To determine thumb pitch, please. How do you determine thumb pitch? There is a fancy little chart that you can find online. Let me see if I can find a copy of it here, and I can share it. Bowling layout information. Okay, let's see if I can share this. You'll have to excuse me. It's been a while since I've used this, and they just updated it again. Interwebs. Thumb pitch chart. Boom. All right, there we go. There is this handy-dandy little thumb pitch chart here that is available online for free. It was made by Mo Pinnell. It's available on the Bowling Wiki site. Literally, if you just put in thumb angle conversion chart, and what they do is they base it on the thumb flexibility, and then you just take your span plus your thumb flexibility, and it'll tell you exactly where to go there. So if you can't find this thumb chart, I have left it up on the screen here so you can actually pause it and figure out what thumb pitch you need. But I hope that helped there. Let's see what else we got here. No problem. Glad to give the updates. I think it's fair. You guys have supported us for 30 years. You've been watching us, supporting us, giving comments to us. I think it's only fair to let you know what's going on. Don't worry, Stephanie. We still love you. We don't mind if you came late. As long as you came to the show here and you're enjoying yourself and you're learning something, like that thumb pitch piece, we don't mind if you join us a little bit late. You can always go back and watch the show. These are going to be available on YouTube again after they've been streamed. What layout would you put on it for a no doubt solid? If we're talking about a control layout, I would probably go 4 by 5.5 by 2 PAL. However, that cover stock with a little bit of that little bit of shine on there, I might actually go to 4.5 by 5.5 by 2.25. Keep the angularity index the same. It would be very clean with a strong mid lane motion, but controlled. It's not gonna. It won't be strong like the strongest ball you have. It'll be just kind of controllable, closer to benchmark plus, if that helps. Oh, got your message there. Haven't been able to find the converter. Well, now you've got it. You can pause this video when it goes back up if you need to find it. So we're just coming up to the hour mark here. So as I said, I wanted to keep it short. I want to thank everybody for joining us. If you joined us late, don't forget to go back. You can watch the whole thing again and find out about all of the cool things that we have talked about today. But just as a wrap up for everything, just letting everybody know, even though we've talked about doing some changes to the show, it's going to be an addition, not a subtraction. We're still going to have the review stuff going on, but we may have, say, review plus, things like that. Or we might have like one of the options on here that I've gotten a lot for, is, how is this going to look on a sport pattern? So we've got a sport pattern challenge on here where we'll come out and I'll have to bowl a game and give you my thoughts as well as my lane playing tactics, what I'm looking at, what surface changes I would make, things like that. So we're going to continue to keep that coaching and everything going. Also, we've signed a deal with InsideBowling.com to provide new merch, as well as our old merch, and part of that is going to be a shirt to help support Wayne, who has had some health issues. If you want to find out more about it, just go back and watch the video. But all of the profit from the special I'm a Wayne Porter Guy shirt will be going to help Wayne get through his health challenges that are going on right now. One thing. Stephanie had one more question. Layout, outer limit solid, 20 degrees tilt, 40 degrees rotation, 200 rev rate. Screen speed, right-hander. Okay. Well, you're going to want something with a longer pin to pat, probably 4.5 to 5.5, somewhere in that range, so that the ball will lose tilt. But just make sure you don't go too extreme with it because you have low rotation. You've got really forward. The ball's really forward on it. You don't want it to lose too much rotation quickly, so you probably want to stick closer to that 4.5 to 5-inch range. Because your tilt is so high but your rotation is so low, you're probably going to want something that is going to slow down a little bit. So I'd probably go with something around 50 to 55 by 4.5 to 5 by probably in the 35 to 40 range. Somewhere in there. Just make sure that your pin doesn't get too close to your finger holes. That should give you something that's going to lose tilt, but still have a little bit of that rotation. And because it's not going to drop too quickly, your ball speed shouldn't hurt it too much there. But we don't want to go too long because we don't want the ball to be, what's the word? Inconsistent for you. We want it to be more playable for you. So I hope that helps, Stephanie. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. As always, I am the Bearded Beast. And just as a final thing, as I said before, just go out there and try to find some love this week. Whether it's for yourself or for somebody else. Pay it forward. Do something nice for somebody. Give your loved ones a hug. Just take stock of your life, appreciate it, and I want to remind you to take the time to tell the people that you love them, because you never know when things are going to happen, when things are going to change. And if you're really worried about saying I love you or things like that, there's an old tradition. Just say, see you down the road. It's not a goodbye. It's not a, hey, I miss you. Hey, I need you. It's, I'll see you down the road. we're good friends, and I like having you around. So until next time, guys, I'll see you down the road. And we'll see you on Laneside Reviews. Good night, folks.